last, hi, turn your brain on, Bianca. Good job. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bianca Skogan Beauty. So glad to have you guys here. Okay, today I have a fun video. It is a favorites video. I have my favorite spring palettes. And I'm going to tell you what they are, and then I am going to put one of them on my eyes. Because I have a full face of makeup except for my eyes on right now. And all the makeup on my face right now is a video that I just shot before this, although it'll go on after this video. I don't even know when, but it'll go on, and it is a full face of like samples. I just put samples on my face. So anyways, that'll be later. I'll link it to this video once that video is up. Anywho, so you might be like, hey Bianca, it's like the end of April. Spring's almost over. Technically no. Technically no. So I just looked it up, or I asked Siri, and spring goes from, oh no, March. It was March 20th till June 20th. Like it goes a long time till the middle towards end of June. Like I personally feel like spring is over in May. Like it's, okay. Like the cusp is May. Like I start getting the summer feels in May, and I get excited for summer in May. Summer is one of my favorite holidays, which is funny because I grew up in Arizona. And so you'd think I would hate summer, but I don't. I love summertime. I love getting warm and swimming in the pool, which I don't have a pool, but where I live in Utah, there's, public pools that we go to. And I love summertime. Also, my birthday's in the summertime, so I think that might have something to do with it. It's just summer. I love summertime. And it's not like I'm a kid anymore where I have summers off. I work during the summer, but it's just, I love summer. And so spring is like, we're getting into summer. So we're getting there. We're getting towards summertime. So I like spring. It's not as good as summer, but I like it still. And we here in Utah have not had spring weather. We have not. It has been an extended winter. It's been like 40 and 50 degrees. And so this video, I'm hoping, will encourage the weather to actually be spring weather. Like, come on, let's do it. Come on, Utah, let's get some 60 and 70 degree weather, please. Okay, so I'm going to put one of these palettes on my face, on my eyes, after I tell you what they are. I don't have 10 palettes, but I couldn't get it down to 10. I have like 12, and one of them isn't a palette, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Also, this year, 2023, is a year for me where I am doing a no-buy of makeup, where I'm buying no makeup. So this is my adventure of like doing no videos that are not buying anything, right? Like no haul videos. Though, I have a caveat to that. One of these palettes is a new palette. You're like, Bianca, you just said you're not buying any makeup. Caveat. I have a caveat to that. So I have rules. I have rules around this no-buy so that I don't break the no-buy, and so I don't go insane during this whole year. I can accept gifts, and which I'm just getting gifts for my husband. Not random people are getting me gifts. If I have gift cards, I can buy makeup with gift cards. So I do have, or I did have, I already spent it. I did have a Sephora gift card from Christmas that I held on to, which was very surprising to me. Usually I have gift cards and they're gone like that, which was part of my spending problem. So I had a Sephora gift card that I saved until the Sephora VIB sale, which was very impressive for me. I saved it. It was a $50 Sephora gift card, and I saved it, until this latest Sephora VIB sale. And also at work, we have award code points. So if I do anything extra or like outside of my job, or like do something helpful for a coworker, or I train, or I do something helpful at work, people can send me award code points. And so I had some award code points that I can turn into gift cards, and they're for like whatever award like I can get TJ Maxx gift cards or Ulta or Sephora gift cards. And it's funny because some of my coworkers will like buy big purchases. Like one of my boss, she bought like, I think her dishwasher broke and she had enough points that she bought a new dishwasher. And I was like, oh, I just buy makeup. Like again, shopaholic, and I'm obsessed with makeup. So it's been really good with this no buy because I have access to buying makeup without using my budget or my husband's budget, my paycheck or my husband's paycheck, which is the whole thing. I'm trying not to use my money to buy makeup. But like, I'm like, man, I could like buy real things. Like a coworker of mine bought his kids a VR headset with his award code points. And I was like, so anyways, that's another video. I have an update video that I need to be doing for my no buy. That's another video. So I'll talk about that more in that video. Bianca, you are getting off topic. So I did buy a new palette with gift cards. Anyways, so let me get into these palettes. All right, my first palette from Pat McGrath Labs. This palette I actually got the last, hi, turn your brain on, Bianca. Good job. I got the last Black Friday, and I got it for free from Pat McGrath's website. And during the last Black Friday was when I realized that I was kind of going insane. My shopaholic-ness was going out of control. And when I realized, Bianca, you need to get this in hand and you need to do a no buy. So anywho, I did get this for free, which these little quads, this is a quad. It is the Blitz Astral quad in Ritualistic Rose. These are expensive little quads and I got it for free. Did I need it? No, but I have it. Anyways, this reminds me of an Easter egg. It is beautiful though. Look at it. It's all shimmer shades. We've got like this yellow, which is, it's kind of gold, but it's also kind of yellow, like a yellow gold. And we have pink and we have kind of like a magenta and then kind of like a coppery bronzy color. It reminds me of Easter. It's like an Easter egg. So spring palette. Yay. I love it. Okay. And I think that's the smallest palette that I have. Then we have from What's Up Beauty. This is the Geodes palette. And look at this. Spring. Does that not just say, hello, I'm Pastels and I'm Spring. Hello. It's really pretty. This is a very, very pretty palette. It has a nice mix of mattes and shimmers. It's really pretty. I like it. I've used it, again, I am trying to not buy palettes so that I can use my palettes. And so I haven't used this a ton. I have used it a couple of times and I've liked every look that I've gotten with it. It's really pretty. So it is in like, right now these palettes are in like a bin right now for me to use during the springtime. So I'm getting more use of them right now because it's spring and they're my spring palettes. So I'm using them more in the springtime. Obviously. Okay, so this one is from Oden's Eye, and I actually have two Oden's Eye palettes in this bundle right now, in this ranking that I have right now, and I thought about only having one because I was like, should I have two Oden's Eye? Yes, I love Oden's Eye. It's a brand that I really enjoy, and both of these are spring palettes, so yeah, I'm gonna have two. This is the Alva 2 Mini Forest palette. Yeah. This is my second one of this palette. The first one broke, and the first one I purchased, this one I got in a mystery bundle, and I was like, well, that just worked out. Like I didn't pick it out because it was in a mystery bundle, and it worked out nicely. It was this shimmery shade that broke. Like I almost kind of was sad that I got a repeat, but it was like, like these are all repeats. It was good and bad. Like it would have been nice to get a palette that I didn't already have, but it was like, at least it was one that was broken. Does that make sense? Anyways, I think it was broken because I dropped it. Anyways, it's a really nice spring palette. We have like yellow, and we have, this is like a nice like cyan blue. It's spring. Beautiful spring palette. Beautiful. I used this one the other day, and it was It was a really pretty look that I came up with. I used the cyan blue, and then I used the yellow, and I used the brown. I used this right here. I didn't use any of the middle shades, but I used these 4 shades, and it was a really pretty look. I really liked it. Okay, so then we have from Huda Beauty, we have the Mercury Retrograde, and this one is, I mean, like, obviously, I feel like spring is very pastel heavy, and so a lot of these are going to be very pastel colors. So yeah, there we go, pastels. And I feel like it's mostly these rows. I feel like this palette is really nice because it can be not just spring. These shades up here could be very good for fall, whereas these are very good for spring, and these ones could be good for like anything. Actually, this is nice. This is kind of a nice spring color, but anyways, it's a very transitional palette. This could be good for all year round, but I do think it is really, really nice for spring. Like, look at this beautiful like seafoam green color. Spring. And this really nice, like, what do I want to call that? Coral? This really nice like coral. I love it. Spring. Okay. Then we have from ColourPop Garden Variety. It's like a spring garden with succulents. I just used this one yesterday, and I came up with a really pretty look. It has a lot of colors though, and I didn't use a ton of them, but so I still need to use this one a couple more times to really just get the all that I want to get from it. But it's, I mean, pastels, spring garden here. It's a pretty one. Very nice. Then we have from Ace Beaute, Violet Sage. It's hard, like, I feel like I'm gonna be saying very similar things, and they're pastels. Pastels. But pastels are actually kind of hard to formulate from what I've heard, and some of them can be kind of powdery or patchy. So if I have kept these, then like they haven't gone through decolors already, they're probably like, I think either I haven't used them, which is bad, and I'm planning on using them, which I think I've used these. Yes, this is part of the reason why I'm going through the snow buy. I'm trying to use all of these. Actually, I haven't used this one yet. Okay, so I'm planning on using this one, but Ace Beaute is one of my favorite, like, it is a very good brand. I enjoy indie brands, eyeshadow palettes, like, a lot more than mainstream brands. They are favorite. I have gotten into them over the last year a lot more than mainstream brands because I feel like indie brands just do eyeshadow palettes right. So yeah, and so if they're gonna do a pastel, they're gonna do it. Anyways, here we go. This one is the Violet Sage. I was able to get this through a BoxyCharm, I believe, and I think I may have re-signed up for BoxyCharm just to get this palette because it was like exclusive through BoxyCharm. Yeah, I wanted this palette. Anyways, it has some beautiful purples. Okay, greens. I'm not the biggest fan of them on my eyes, but if I do wear a green on my eyes, I mix it with like purple, or I mix it with pink to make it work. And so here we go. Perfect. And so yes, I feel like this is a perfect spring palette because it looks like Mother's Day. I don't know, it just does. And spring is Mother's Day to me. And so it's like purple. It's a bouquet of flowers that you would give to your mom. Right there. That's what that is to me. Okay. I love that. Okay. Then we have from Lorelei and Eryn Weaver, because Eryn Weaver's her niece. And this is the one that they collabed on together. I don't believe you can get this anymore. And it was supposed to smell like candy because it's called Candy Skies. I don't know. I was smelling it. I don't think it does anymore. It's like a year or two old, but this is her Candy Skies palette, and this is, say it with me, pastels. None of the other palettes had this light of like a pastel, like candy blue, and so not all of them are pastels. Like this is a really nice like summer teal blue, and this is a really like beautiful deep indigo purple. Not indigo purple. Indigo is blue, but like a deep violet purple. But I do think that this is like pistachio purple, and Bianca, pistachio green. It is spring. This is spring to me. And it does have, like, that's a multi-chrome or more like a duochrome. So it has some some depth here, some interest to this color story. And I just think it's really pretty. I think it's a pretty color story and I like it. It's a little bit of like a rainbow palette, but a little bit of like a pastel-y rainbow palette. And not a lot of eyeshadow palettes have white. And so I feel like that one is unique because it has white. Okay, then we have, oh, I did do two Huda Beauties. Okay, I thought that Oden's Eye was the only one that I had two on, but apparently so is Huda Beauty. This is the Rose Quartz palette, and this one is one of my ones that doesn't have a lot of like other colors. Like the other ones had like purple and green and blue. We have a storm happening. So if you guys can hear like the wind, you might hear some thunder. We had hail earlier today, and the biggest crash of thunder like I've ever heard in my life. It actually made me jump. So you hear some of that. It's going on in the background. It's actually 3 o'clock and it looks dark outside. It's a crazy day today. Anywho, this right here is not one of those like colorful spring palettes, which I kind of associate spring with color because we're getting out of winter and like the blossoms are blooming and it's colorful. But this, there's a hair right there, great. This is those soft pastels, that soft, like that's kind of my shirt. It's the soft pinks and the soft pastels of spring. So that's what this reminds me of, the soft springy pinks, soft blooms without the leaves, I guess. Okay, here is my second Oden's Eye palette. This is the Hela palette by Oden's Eye and Angelica Nyquist. And this palette, let me explain why I think that this is the perfect spring palette. Because, okay, I feel like, okay, so spring is March 20th to June 20th. Okay, so this is actually, bear with me here, okay? Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so is that spring is I said it was March 20th. So St. Patrick's Day is March 17th. So, those dates are gone. Those dates are long gone. But those are what I actually think of spring is like early February and March is in my head like spring. March to June isn't in my head like, do you know what I mean? Is this making any sense? Okay, so this is actually like, to me, an actual like what I would wear. This is a good transition from like, you know, I pull this out to wear for like Valentine's Day, and then it actually transitions really well for St. Patrick's Day looks. Boom. Right here. Is this a good palette for right now in April? Kind of. Yeah, sure. But it was a better palette a couple months ago. Yes. Okay, so it's a really, and you can't get this one anymore, which is kind of crappy. But if you have it, it is a really good Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day palette. Yay! This is the one I'm going to put on my eyes today. This is by Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is the Pastel Dreams palette. This is the best pastel palette I've ever experienced. Ever. And I have stories. So I got this palette because the Natasha Denona pastel palette came out. And I had been hearing so many like good and yet bad reviews. Like it was all over the board about that palette because there was like, it wasn't really that pastel-y. Like people were like, there's some like dark colors in that palette. But people were like, but it's still good. It's Natasha Denona. Okay. And it was like, I think it was when the price jump had happened. So it went from 65 to 67 and now they're like 69. It's even price jumped even more. Again, you know, life is expensive right now. So I was like, okay, well, I was trying to talk myself out of buying it. And I had heard about this palette. And I'm really into indie brands. This is Give Me Glow Cosmetics. And so I'd heard this palette was amazing. So I was like, you know what? Let's put my money into a indie brand that this had only had good reviews. And so I have used this palette and I love this palette. But could I get my mind off of the Natasha Denona palette? No. It's been a year. I think it came out last year. It's been a year and that palette has stayed on my mind for an entire year. And I thought, you know what? If that palette has been on my mind for a year, that means I do want it. So I bought it. I feel like if it's something that I couldn't get out of my mind, and it's something that I have wanted, like there was a Juvia's Place palette that came out that I feel like was trying to dupe the Natasha Denona palette. And I almost bought it because I was like, oh, I feel like it's trying to dupe the Natasha Denona palette. And I was like, why don't you just buy the Natasha Denona palette already? So I did. If I've always heard that if you're trying to, you know, put something in a wish list, don't just, or like add it to cart and then wait a couple of weeks. And if you forgot about it, then you don't need it. If you are still thinking about it, that means you do actually want it, you know? Wait a couple of weeks, wait a couple of months. And if you're still thinking about it, you do want it. And that's the case with this. I have still been thinking about this. I've been still wanting this. So I got it. And I got it for 20% off because I'm a Rouge member of Sephora. Actually, this is something I've been thinking about. I probably won't be next year because I haven't really bought very much from Sephora. I have, you know, I bought a couple of things with gift cards, but I don't think I will be next year, which kind of stinks, but that's to help rein in my shopaholic problem. It is worth the price. So here is the Natasha Denona Pastel Palette. Yay! Should I put this one on my eyes today? Maybe, but like, I don't know. I don't want to kind of like, I know how this one works. I have used this one before. I like it, I know it, so I'm gonna do that one today. Whereas this one, I haven't ever used it, so I don't really want to experiment with the unknown for a video. And it's the unknown. I don't want to experiment with the unknown today. So I see why people, you know, were like, that's not really that pastel. Like, look at this. That's like a mid-tone color. This is kind of a neon. This is pastel. That is right there. That's a mid-tone color. That's like a summery blue. Yeah, I see why this one isn't that pastel, but I think it's fun. It like transitions from spring to summer in my head. This is a spring-summer palette. And guess what? That's right now. It's April. Almost May. Spring, summer! Yay! I'm so excited to have it. I'm really glad. I have been thinking about this palette for a year. So clearly I wanted it. Glad to have it. Okay, so last but not least, it's not a palette, but the last thing on my list of spring miscellany, it's not a palette, is these from Makeup a Murder. I'm going to put them in my hand and make them look nice. And hopefully not drop them. Don't drop them, don't drop them, don't drop them. There. Okay, here we go. These are what are they called? They're the Pastel Poison Neon Pigments. Okay, so they have a couple of these pigments on the Makeup a Murder website. And you can get them in just the neon colors. These are the neon pastel colors. And so they're exactly, they're neon pastel. And so here you go, spring. They're kind of neon. Spring to summer, they're kind of neon. They're kind of pastel. They're more pastel than neon, but they're bright and they're fun. And this is very spring, transitioning into summer for me. And I really love them. I think they're great. I think they're a fun like display. I put them like on my counter and I'm like, ooh, look at them. They're so pretty, but they're also really pretty on my eyes. I love them. I wear them. We do a glow run every year and I wear these and they glow in the dark. Oof. Or they glow, not they glow in the dark, excuse me. They glow under a like a black light, and that glow run that we do is a black light run. So they're very fun. They're a fun pigment for me to have. So those are my top 12 palettes and other. All right, so let's get into this eye look, shall we? I swatched out some colors on my hand because I was trying to see what I wanted to work with here. And I think I came up with it. And let's do it. Let's do it, everyone. I think I was going to go with blue in the outer corner. So let's do it. How are you guys? Are you guys enjoying your springs? Hopefully better than I am because, as I said, it's just an extended winter here. In March, we had 2 feet of snow. And then the first week of April, we had like 6 inches of snow. And I was like, come on, really? Can it just, I don't know. I do get a little bit of like seasonal, is it seasonal affective disorder? Where you know, you get a little bit sad because it's just like circadian rhythms and not getting enough light. And so you just get sad. And that happens to me. I do have one of those lights that you can put on your desk and just, one of, like the circadian rhythm lights that you can put on your desk and it'll just, the happy lights. But it bothers me. Like it bothers me because it's like a light in your eyes. So it's something that I try to turn on, but it kind of gives me a headache. And so I'm like, okay, would I rather have a headache or would I rather be depressed? Oh goodness. So I just like summertime. I like, it's a whole thing. I would rather it, like, I don't like going on walks. I don't like going outside when there's feet of snow. And so it's this whole thing. I go outside more in the summertime. So I'm getting more sunlight. I'm getting more exercise. I'm outside with my kids and we go to the park. And whereas in the wintertime, I'm inside more. It's just darker. It's a whole thing. It's a circle, you know. It's because it's cold, and because it's dark, I'm inside, and thus I'm getting less light because I'm not going outside, and it's a thing, you know. I should go outside more, but I don't want to because it's cold and there's snow. Anyways, I do. I don't mind the snow as much in the beginning of the winter time. Like we actually had some early snow this year. We had some snow in October. So in October and November and December and even January, I can handle the snow. Especially before Christmas time. I'm like, it's very, you know, like, yay, it's seasonal snow. It's very happy. But February, March, and April snow, I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. Anyways. But, and you might be like, why are you still living in Utah? Well, my job's in Utah. My husband's job's in Utah. And I'm married to a polar bear. My husband he loves the snow. He is happier in the snow. He's a polar bear and I'm a mermaid. So where would we both be happy, right? Nowhere. I just try to layer up. It's funny though, actually this year, most of the years, my kids, they are more like my husband. They love the snow also. And they are just like, oh mom, you're being silly. We love the snow. It's so great. But this year, my daughter, she has been on my side. And I don't know why. I don't know what swayed her. But she was like, she got sick of the snow too. And it was just this year. Every other year, she has been just like my husband and my son. And she has been just as in love with the snow. But this year, she has been like, can we just be done with the snow already? And I'm like, yay, a fellow mermaid. Somebody who's on board with me. All right, I think it's looking pretty good. See how good these pastels are? They look so good. They weren't patchy at all. It built up like a dream. Like a dream. My kids are ready for school to be out, but I don't know if I am. Like, I like school to be out because I don't have to like pick the kids up from school and, you know, help them with their homework. And, you know, there's things about school being out, the responsibility of it being done. But I work from home a lot. Oh, it looks like bubblegum. I wasn't anticipating that match, that. I don't know why. I forgot to do blue under my eye. Anyways, but when the kids are home from school, they're home with me when I'm working from home. And they're home fighting because that's what kids do. So, you know, give and take. But they're also home being you know, when they're sweet, they're just absolutely the sweetest. And like, Mom, I love you. And I'm like, oh, I love you too. Okay, so we have pink on. Now I wanted to do this purple because this is the prettiest purple. Shiny purple. It's not showing up as pretty on camera, but because, you know, lights. But I did a swatch of it, and it was like, I was like, this is what I want to do, this purple. It is just, it glows. It's like almost like a purple gold. So pretty. It's more bubblegum. Like this look is definitely bubblegummy. I feel like pastels are hard to form looks with because I usually do like a dark color in the outer corner. And so not doing like a dark, deep color in the outer corner, I have a hard time building a look. Anyone else have that? Here we go. So pretty. So pretty. It's a little bit. I feel like this look needs an eyeliner. Anyone think that as well? Or is it just me? Okay, I will do eyeliner off screen because eyeliner, you know? Okay, I was right. It needed eyeliner and mascara. I'm still using these eyeliners that I got from iMethod Beauty, even though I had a bad experience with them. But the eyeliners are great. Anyways, and I put on mascara, which was from Maybelline Sky High mascara. It's good mascara. Anyways, there we go. So I think it's pretty. It's a fun, pretty pink spring. What am I trying to say? Spring eyeshadow look. Okay, so if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos by me, subscribe to my channel. It would mean the most to me. And if you want to be notified of my videos, push the bell. Have the most amazing day. And remember to be nice to yourself. Have a great day. Wait, I just said that.